If you have a bright spot in your home or office and looking to fill it with a plant that loves a bright corner, then this video will be helpful for you. The plants I'm about to recommend love a bright spot, but out of direct sun. So that means it's in the natural light in my plant room, but it never gets direct sun onto the leaves because that direct sun would just scorch the leaves and the plant will burn. It's so confusing knowing what it means if a plant needs bright direct light, bright indirect light, lower light. There's so many different light conditions. To show you what bright indirect light means, this pothos plant is in a bright spot in my plant room, but out of direct sunlight. Whereas if you move up to where the succulents and cacti are, you can see this plant here is in direct sun, and the more the sun moves up, the more these plants will be in direct sunshine, especially this euphorbia that loves a bright room in direct sun. My number one plant for a bright room out of direct sun is Monstera deliciosa. This plant thrives in my plant room. It gets some direct morning sun, but it doesn't get the harsh afternoon sun because the leaves of the plant will just scorch. I wipe the leaves quite regularly to remove the dust so that the plant can photosynthesize. I fertilize it during the growing months. It's a really easy plant to look after as long as it gets loads of bright light out of direct sun. This plant's a bit out of control. I need to repot it. I'm glad the choir pole is still a good size, but I think before I know it, the plant will just outgrow the pole. It has outgrown the pot a little bit, so it's on my list to repot. So my number one recommended plant for a bright spot is a Monstera deliciosa. Just look at those leaves. Number two is an Oxalis triangularis. I love this plant. It's probably one of my favorite plants, and it's in my bright kitchen out of any direct sun. I rescued two tiny Oxalis plants that were really unhappy, potted them together into this pot, and it's grown loads. It's got lots of stems and lots of leaves coming out. I fertilize it during the growing months with a liquid fertilizer. And what I love about this plant, it's fascinating. The leaves close up at 7 p.m. at night and it opens up again at 7 a.m. in the morning. It's such a statement plant. I love the color. Before I got this plant, I was really unsure about it, and I always stayed clear because I thought it looks so delicate. I don't tend to like delicate plants that are high maintenance to look after because I don't have time to look after delicate plants that need a lot of attention. But actually, this is one of my most easy, low maintenance plants that I've ever had. If the soil is about to dry out, I give it a drink. It's in a bright spot and it's thriving. So number two, Oxalis, great for a bright light room. Number three is a Begonia tamaya, another one of my favorite plants. If you have this plant and if you've left it in direct sun, you will know that the leaves and the flowers fade quite quickly if it gets too much direct sun. I've taken so many cuttings, trimmed it so many times to make more plants. They propagate really well. It's such an easy plant to look after. I water when the soil feels dry to touch. It goes out of control quite quickly. So that's another reason why I've kept it cut and trimmed, just to keep it maintained a little bit. The flowers are beautiful, but the only downside is when they are finished blooming, they make a real mess on your carpet. But I don't mind because I absolutely love this plant and it's in a bright spot in my plant room and I love it. Number four is a pothos plant, another one of my favorites. And there are so many different varieties. I just don't have enough in my room, so I need to stock up on the many different varieties of pothos because I love them. Super easy to look after. These plants can also thrive in lower light rooms, but really they love a bright spot out of direct sun. If the leaves get the direct, harsh summer sun, the leaves will just scorch. But this plant gets some bright direct morning sun that's quite subtle and not so harsh, so it's quite happy and thriving. But then by 11 o'clock, maybe 10:30, that sun moves over and this plant gets a bright spot out of direct sunshine. So if you don't have a pothos in your bright room, I can really recommend. They trail beautifully, so you can even create a really nice trailing wall. Number 5 is a Tradescantia Nanook. I absolutely love these plants. I love the colours. They're super easy to look after. They trail after some time, and the more bright light the plant gets, the more pronounced the colours will be. Avoid direct sunshine, that's too harsh because it will just burn the leaves and the colour of the plant will just fade completely. So mine is in a bright spot. It gets some morning light until about 10:30 or 11 o'clock, and then the sun moves over and then the plant is in a bright spot. It gets the afternoon sun as well, that's not so harsh, so more of a tame afternoon sun. It's loving the space. I need to get a pot for it, but it's on my list to do. But number 5, Tradescantia Nanook. They're super easy to look after and I love them. So those are my 5 current favourite plants for a bright room. I've got many different plants and I might make a second video because there are so many lovely plants for a bright spot that you can have in your space. I hope you found that helpful, and I hope it helps you next time when you're out plant shopping, looking for some plants for your bright corners. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.